Yeah.
How did it feel to bust loose and, have your way tonight?
Yeah. I mean, it's my career high, so I just feel good to go out there. First double-double, career double-double. So, I just feel good. My teammates come out head high. I didn't have a great first half, but halftime they came in there and talked to me. I got my mindset right, and I just came out ready to play to win the game.
What did they say to you to get your mind straight?
Yeah, just telling me to keep my head up, just know, be myself. They know what I'm capable of on the court. I know what I'm capable of on the court. Once I get out of my head and stop being so frustrated, everybody else know that too. So, just keeping my head off the game and staying focused.
Jimmy, is there a balance for you in playing aggressively, making that quick, strong move, but also being patient with the ball in the post? Is that kind of the sweet spot you're looking for?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not really trying to get a lot of offensive calls, so I try to just use my shoulder as much as I can, use my power as much as I can, and just power up and finish the basket. A lot of times I don't get the calls that I think I should. So now, me and Hud's been talking, just telling me to finish through contact, regardless if it's a foul or not. So that's just what I've been doing these last couple games, and I'm gonna continue to do the rest of the season. So.
Jimmy, also, obviously the double-double stands out. It's obviously what you're going to remember. What I kind of think of is you basically drew enough fouls tonight to foul out two guys, and I think you fouled out their whole front court. Just what's that feel like? I'm sure those fouls weren't soft.
Yeah, I'm a big guy. So that's the simple way to put it. I'm a big guy. People, I'm bigger than most everybody that we play. So, they got to try to do what they got to do, and I'm going to do what I do on offense. So, whatever they got to do to try to stop me, that's what they got to do. And I guess they fouled me all night. So.
Trey, how comfortable are you getting playing at the free throw line? Seems like that's really suited to your skill set. You can take that jumper if they're off, you can drive it a little bit, and obviously passing's a big part of your game too. Do you like that?
Yeah, I definitely enjoy playing out of the high post a lot, because just getting the catch there and face it, there's just a lot of options that I can do out of there, and there's a lot that I can see out of there. So I think that getting in there and get some catches up there is kind of important for some momentum possessions for us, and just to kind of get things going our way, because there's just so many options what you could do out of the high post that it wouldn't make sense not to get it there.
Erik, kind of like we talked about on Friday, with the offense kind of outpacing the defense at this point. So after a game like this, what does Hugs talk about? The 96 you scored or the 78 you give up?
No, he gave up. He gave up. He talked about, where's the number at? What they have in the first half? How many points?
39.
That's what he talked. There it is. That's what he talked about. Well, they did that in the second half too. Yeah. So he's going to be talking about that all week. Offensively, we're one of those teams where we can get high really quick, and I think a lot of that stems from our defensive pressure. Especially with Key and Joe out there, they put so much pressure on the ball, and they disrupt things at a different level. I disrupt things to a certain extent, but I'm not. I'm just solid defensively. They're really good defensively, especially on the ball. So when those guys are in the passing lanes and disrupting ball pressure, taking guys off the dribble that usually take the ball off the dribble that just don't feel comfortable dribbling. It really turns up our defensive pressure, and then we get out in transition, and we can make a lot of threes, and we get to the rim as well. So our offense definitely stems from our defense.
The points in the paint they got tonight. Now they went a long stretch without getting any in the second half, but they got a lot of bunches in the first half, especially.
Hugs will be talking about that too.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm seeing a couple of numbers on here that Hugs will be talking about. But that's part of it. I've been playing college basketball for like 20 years now, so it's these games where you have a week in between games, especially around Christmas. Right. Your natural tendency is kind of zone out just a little bit, and so it was kind of weird, probably for our younger guys, having a week off from games and then coming back into a game atmosphere and playing. So obviously it took us 20 minutes to figure it out, and we were fortunate enough to really get hot in that second half and pull away.
Erik, in particular, the ball screens in the first half seeming to give you guys some trouble. How do you shore those up? Is it a communication thing, or what do you see as the issue there?
Like I said, we were just a little sluggish. We were guarding it all week. In practice, we had like 4 or 5 days to scout these guys. And I thought we handled it pretty well in practice. But like I said, you know, coming out into a game atmosphere, it's a little different having a week off. So, you know, we got to tighten some things up on our rotations, which I think we did in the second half a lot better. But also some of those mistakes were from some young guys, you know, so we just got to coach them up and obviously tune some things and we'll be fine.
You know, Erik, kind of going off that, obviously didn't have Emmett tonight, but you know, Kobe and Seth and some of those other guys had to play a bigger role. What did you think of, you know, their impact on the game here tonight?
Yeah, I thought Seth did definitely play well for us, especially offensively. You know, we know he can shoot the ball. You know, and he's a solid defender. You know what I mean? He's not going to do anything crazy. He's not going to go out of his role. He knows what he's doing. And Kobe as well. You know, I know Kobe had that big three in the first half in the corner, kind of give us a little separation. And Kobe's he's so versatile defensively. He can guard 1 through 4. And he's, you know, his arms are so long. He's good at getting deflections. He's also big enough to rebound. So those two guys I thought played well. Missing Emmett is huge. You know, he's also he's an old guy out there. You know, he's played in the system. You know, and I was talking to somebody on the bench about it. I think he was talking to JoJo, saying, just showing him how missing a guy like that, you know, affects our team just slightly, you know, and it shows up. And JoJo said he's intimidating. So, I mean, hopefully that'll make our team more intimidating when he comes back.
Speaking of that, you guys wind up playing a lot of physical games. I mean, is that what you want to do? I mean,
Oh, yeah, we want to bully people, for sure. There's no question about that. We want to send a message early. And I think we tried to do that early this game. But credit to them, they didn't back down from us. But we were fortunate enough to get in the double bonus there pretty quick. I don't know the exact time, but you know, I think that's why we kind of had that 8-point lead at halftime, was the foul line, for sure.
Jimmy, I don't have the numbers yet in front of me. Does it feel like the most minutes you played didn't seem like you came out a lot? And how did you feel at the latter stages of a couple of those long stretches?
I think at this level of Division I think it's definitely the longest I played. But I've been getting in great shape. Still working my body a lot, so I'm still getting used to playing long minutes and long periods of time. But it's just something I got to get used to, especially during conference play. So just got to keep working and staying in the gym.
Jimmy, you said it's your first double-double. What means more to you, the points or the rebounds?
Me, I'm honestly rebounds.
Yeah.
I'm not really too much on the points, but you know, it's good to score too.
Right.
The rebounds I feel like is more important to me. That's just me personally. So.
Trey, when it was 61-60, you got fouled on the jump hook. I think you got a technical right after. How much does that help when you get 4 freebies like that with no time run off the clock, and then I think you got a couple buckets not long after that, and all of a sudden it was a
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give credit to Hugs on that one, because he allowed me to shoot the tech free throws. So he really just let me see the ball go through the hoop kind of and get going and get a little bit of confidence there. So, I mean, and obviously at that point in the game, 61-60, those are huge free throws for us. Like, going into it, I was just like, I shoot these every single day. Like, there's days where we go 50 and 55 in a row without missing one, so what it's for. Like, it's just kind of a preparation for that. I think the coaches have done an excellent job preparing us for that, and it gave me an opportunity to just get the see the ball go through the hoop and really get us going, and then give us a little boost coming out of half.
After the technical, it was a 17-3 run that gave you guys a bit of a stretch there. Could you feel them deflating at that point?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, whenever you see that little stretch and then you hear some of the comments that some of their guys make to each other, then it's like, okay, we got him here. Like, this is where you insert, this is where you give a guy just a little extra nudge, see how he reacts to it, see what happens. So, you know, it was really just a read and react sort of thing, and I think our whole team fed off of it.
Erik, you were talking about Seth earlier, and I'm just kind of wondering, it's almost like he kind of takes shots that look off balance or, you know, step back, fade back kind of stuff, and it's like, no, and then it goes in. I mean, it seems like he's kind of maybe leading the league in those kind of shots. I mean,
He's leading the league in shots that shouldn't go in.
Yeah, but yet they do. I mean, I guess he does not practice.
I mean, he makes them.
Right, yeah.
But, you know, I think I can credit a lot to our practices. You know, when we go our individual offense, you know, where the guards and the wings and the bigs all split up and do some skill development. Coach Larry, he gives us a lot of freedom with the shots that we can take as guards, whether on balance or off balance. We work on those, to be honest. We play a lot of ones in
Yeah.
practice, you know, so when you're playing one-on-one, it's, you know, you're not always gonna be on balance when you're shooting, you know, so you gotta be able to make tough shots, contested shots, and, you know, those are the times, you know, the times you pull those shots out are 5 on the shot clock.
Right.
You know, like Seth did early in the first half, I think it was. I thought that was way short, by the way, the little one leg leaner. I thought that was way short, but it ended up being all net, which I was happy for. But,
Is that a unique part to his game?
yeah, for sure. He didn't even pull out his go-to today. I'm not gonna
Right.
speak on that, but we know his go-to. He didn't even pull it out today, but I thought he played well. He was efficient, you know, 4 for 7, 2 for 4.
Right.
That's really good, you know, especially for a guy for our bench. It helps our bench a lot.
Eric, you mentioned that 3 that Kobe made from the corner. How the hell did you find him?
I just know what he is.
I mean, 'cause you were going crazy
Like
coming
I
down.
said earlier, I've been playing college basketball for 20 years.
You know, it sounds like Emmett's day today. I guess at what point did you know you weren't gonna have him tonight, and how much preparation?
I knew Emmett wasn't gonna play after he fell against UAB. I knew he was out. I've known Emmett for a long time. So, I mean, and, you know, we were at that UAB game when he was on the ground, and I was waving off Doc. I said, Doc, you gotta give me another 40 with him. He's not playing the next game, I know it. But I think he'll be back. I think he'll be back from personal experience with him for Stony Brook. And just keep going from there.
Did he practice at all this week, or?
He was in the training room a lot.
Yeah.
Cardio, and, you know, he got some shots up on his own, just trying to strengthen himself back up.
Right.
Anything else?
For Jose.